I couldn't give my girlfriend a perfect answer sheet. For 3 months I was like a dog who licked her orders. It turned out that these 3 months were the countdown to her first love's marriage, and she didn't realize that she had no chance until the last moment of her first love's marriage. I was notified that I passed the assessment after the disappointment, but I told her directly that it was not necessary. I had had enough fun. My girlfriend gave me a 3-month probation period. During this period I couldn't kiss her, touch her, look at her mobile phone, and even ask about her whereabouts. And I had to reply to messages in seconds, be available at any time, and most importantly, conceal our relationship, otherwise the test would end at any time. I was a grandson for 3 months until my girlfriend's first love, who she had been thinking about, got married, and he told me that I passed the test and could become a regular employee. I smiled and said no, I had had enough fun. Later, he confessed to me in a wedding dress in front of everyone and sent himself to my bed. When Lu Ruyan called me, I was keeping vigil for my grandfather. He said, "Su Jiabwa, I'll give you 15 minutes, and appeared beside me immediately. But the one lying in front of me was my grandfather who raised me. I wanted to send her off for the last time. Lu Ruyan knew that the dead were more important than the living. There are still 12 minutes. If you don't come to the test, you will fail." Lu Ruyan's tone was impatient. She didn't listen to my thoughts at all and hung up the phone. What urgent matter is there that I must go? I bowed deeply to my grandfather and hurriedly took a taxi back to Lu Ruyan. At this time, Lu Ruyan was carrying large and small bags and climbing the stairs breathlessly. I came to Ruyan, and I was about to take the things in her hand. Lu Ruyan pointed back. There was a pile of furniture on the truck in the distance. Yao Zhe was moving and the elevator was broken. "You should help him quickly." Turned out to be for Yao Zhe. Yao Zhe was Lu Ruyan's first love. During the 3 years I pursued Lu Ruyan, Yao Zhe was everywhere. Lu Ruyan didn't agree to my confession until Yao Zhe got engaged to his girlfriend. Lu Ruyan gave me a 3-month trial period. During this period, as long as she was not satisfied, we could say goodbye at any time. This is simply an overlord clause, but because I love her, I still agreed. I moved the wardrobe to the 5th floor. I tortured myself all night and my waist couldn't stand up straight. Lu Ruyan smiled and explained to Yao Zhe that this is what we should do. "Then I will treat you to dinner tomorrow." As soon as Yao Zhe opened his mouth, Lu Ruyan agreed. I told Lu Ruyan that my grandfather would go to the crematorium tomorrow, and I wanted to go back to see him off. Lu Ruyan's face changed. He said, "Su Jiabwa, don't be ungrateful. People invited you to dinner. Why did you have so many things to do?" The next day my grandfather was cremated and I couldn't rush back to pick up a handful of ashes for him. At the dinner table, Yao Zhe and his fiancée Fang Ting raised their glasses and thanked everyone. I drank a large glass of white wine directly. I was vomiting in the toilet. Lu Ruyan didn't even care. At the door of the toilet, I heard Lu Ruyan and her bestie talking. "Lu Ruyan, you don't like Su Jiabwa, why are you with him?" "You don't understand." Lu Ruyan lit a cigarette and leaned against the door. If I were single, Yao Zhe would definitely avoid suspicion, and I couldn't be with him. The bestie suddenly realized, "What about Su Jiabwa, don't you have feelings for him?" Lu Ruyan smiled. I set him a 3-month probation period and 3 months later, it will be Yao Zhe's wedding day. I want to try again. If Yao Zhe refuses me, I will agree to Su Jiabwa. It's not shameful to have someone take over. The bestie and Lu Ruyan laughed together. I was shocked by their words. After being with Lu Ruyan, he did not allow me to make our relationship public and he had to be the first in everything. As a result, I had not seen my friends and family for a long time. I did not expect that I was just a tool in his heart, just for his ridiculous crush. There were still 8 days before the end of the probation period. I finally saw Lu Ruyan clearly. I planned a grand confession ceremony for Lu Ruyan on the day when the 3-month probation period ended. The wedding company contacted me to see the venue. I opened my phone and saw Yao Zhe's circle of friends. He said that the friend who grew up with me was now helping me choose a suit for the wedding. The picture was a photo of him and Lu Ruyan. I looked at Lu Ruyan's circle of friends again. Sure enough, he blocked me. He did not let me go back to deal with the funeral of my grandfather and left me here. I was with Yao Zhe. I was a complete idiot. I contacted the wedding company, prepared to cancel the confession ceremony, and also changed Lu Ruyan's Michelin restaurant that she always wanted to eat. The double seat was customized and changed to a large private room. During the time I was with him, I ignored my friends. This meal was an apology. We got drunk. When checking out, I met Lu Ruyan, who was furious. Lu Ruyan was angry because of a plate of foie gras. The waiter patiently explained, "Miss, our store does not participate in the activities of the mall. Your free coupon cannot be used." I forwarded it in my circle of friends for 7 days. "Why can't it be used? Believe it or not, I will give you a bad review." Lu Ruyan's voice attracted many people. He saw that he was not right, so he took out his mobile phone. After a while, my phone rang. "Hello, Su Jiabwa, you come to me now. I will only give you 3 minutes." Lu Ruyan looked up and saw me standing next to her. She immediately exploded. Okay, Su Jiabwa. I told you not to ask about my whereabouts, but you dared to follow me. I didn't follow you. Bullshit. Did you come here to eat? This restaurant is so expensive, how can you afford it? It seems that Lu Ruyan has known me for 3 years, but she doesn't care about me or understand me. She is completely focused on Yao Zhe. How can I, who earns 100,000 yuan a month, not afford a Western meal? I was about to speak, but Lu Ruyan pinched her nose and took 3 steps back. You drank. Did I tell you that I hate alcohol the most? Su Jiabwa, do you believe that I will not pass your test? Lu Ruyan soon regretted it. She waved her hand and said, pay for the foie gras quickly. Yao Zhe hasn't eaten yet. I won't bother with you. It's for Yao Zhe again. I'm Lu Ruyan's grandson, but she's a liquor for others. It doesn't matter if you don't have this girlfriend. The waiter looked at me and said respectfully, sir, your black gold the card gives you a portion of foie gras every month. She is your friend. I will give you this one for free. I shook my head and said no. I don't know him. I ignored Lu Ruyan's surprised expression and turned back to my private room. When I sobered up, I felt a little regretful. I was afraid that Lu Ruyan would really ignore me. Fortunately, there was a message from Lu Ruyan on my phone. He actually asked me to spend the night in a hotel for the first time. What was even more unexpected was that he was alone this time. Lu Ruyan took my arm. Jiabwa, this hotel is a bit expensive. We only need 1 room. It's the first time I've been alone in a room with Lu Ruyan in all these years. I thought he must have a guilty conscience and understood how good I was. Although it was 8,999 a night, I still paid it. But at night I had just changed my clothes. Lu Ruyan said she was not feeling well and was going to get some moxa, so she asked me to go to bed first. In the middle of the night there was a knock on the door. Fong Ting was wrapped in a blanket with a worried look on her face. Have you seen Yao Zhe? I have a stuffy pain in my chest. It turns out that Yao Zhe has also come. Fong Ting looked into the room and found that Lu Ruyan was not there. He panicked. Family disgrace should not be made public. We did not alarm the staff and searched for the hotel all night. When it was almost dawn, I saw Lu Ruyan and Yao Zhe on the hillside. Lu Ruyan pointed at the newly rising sun and exclaimed. After a moment he regretted and said, when you get married we can't watch the sunset together and the sunrise. Spoon rubbed his head. How could that be? You will always be my best friend. Besides, you have Su Jiabwa and I have Fong Ting. They are innocent. What they call innocence is that they use the name of friends to do shameful things. I was about to go forward, but Fong Ting held me back. Only then did I realize that Fong Ting had paid no less than me. Is it worth it? I asked Fong Ting if it is worth it as long as I can marry him. It is worth it for him to endure, but I don't want to endure it anymore. I left without saying goodbye and took the flight home for the new year. When I turned on my phone, I found 16 missed calls from Lu Ruyan. Finally, he sent a text message with only 10 words, but every word was heartbreaking. Su Jiabwa, you have failed the test. I found that all my contact information has been blocked by Lu Ruyan. There are still 6 days left before the end of the test period. My 3 years of wholehearted devotion to him ended in failure. When I was unconscious, my mother touched my forehead. Why does the child seem to have lost his soul? Does he have a girlfriend? Before, it was Lu Ruyan who asked me to hide it from my family, but now I really don't have a girlfriend. Seeing this, my mother forced me to go out for a blind date. The girl who came was a thin girl named Jasmine. Before I said a few words, my cell phone rang. It was Lu Ruyan's video call. She pulled me off the blacklist. She said, Su Jiabwa, Fong Ting told me that something happened at home and you were in a hurry to go back. I won't bother with you. I glanced at Jasmine next to me. She was pretending to lower her head to drink water. Lu Ruyan said, I'll give you 5 minutes to come to Mingzhuang restaurant. Before I could refuse, the phone was hung up. This is the girl you like. Are you going to confess to her? I was puzzled. How did Jasmine know that I was about to? I was about to prepare for the confession ceremony, she smiled. She had ordered a wedding dress from my dress shop a few days ago, saying it was for her boyfriend to confess his love. I was stunned. Lu Ruyan really intended to accept me, and even put on a wedding dress for me. My heart suddenly softened. I got up to leave. Jasmine asked me to take her. She wanted to find Lu Ruyan to confirm the size of the clothes. We got in a taxi, and when we arrived in front of Lu Ruyan, it was already more than 5 minutes. Lu Ruyan was standing alone on the side of the road, looking lonely. I stepped forward. I came. Ruyan, you drank? Lu Ruyan looked at me. Her eyes were bloodshot. Su Jiabwa, you are an hour late. I'm sorry. A crisp slap sounded. Lu Ruyan slapped me hard. Did you know that Yao Zhe had been picked up by Fong Ting? If you weren't late, Yao Zhe wouldn't have gone to Fong Ting's house. If anything had happened to him when he was drunk, I would never forgive him. Lu Ruyan threw herself into my arms and beat my chest. Why couldn't you be faster than Fong Ting? Why did I finally make an appointment with him when Fong Ting was not around, and it was ruined by you? My cheeks were burning and my heart was aching. Looking at Lu Ruyan's crazy look, I held her shoulders. Lu Ruyan and the others were about to get married. What was going to happen would have happened a long time ago. Can you sober up? Lu Ruyan covered her ears. Shut up. Fortunately, Jasmine stepped forward and broke the entanglement between Lu Ruyan and me. We found Lu Ruyan's friends and sent her home. On the way home, Jasmine apologized to me. What does this have to do with you? It's all my own self-indulgence. I laughed at myself and looked at Jasmine. Can I see Lu Ruyan's moments? She has been blocking me. Jasmine gave me her phone. This was the first time I saw Lu Ruyan's moments. There were 1,300 words, and the words had nothing to do with me. At the top was a photo of her in a wedding dress. She said that the day she confessed to you, I would marry you again. It turned out that she was going to confess to Yao Zhe. I smiled bitterly and turned off my phone. I finally realized that my 3 years were a joke. The next day was New Year's Eve. When I used my phone to cast the screen to watch a movie with my parents, Lu Rian sent a message saying Sujabwa, my best friend told me that you were with a woman last night. Who is she? Reply to my message within 5 seconds, or we will break up. For 32 Sujabwa quickly replied to my message. My parents looked at me at the same time. My father picked up his slippers and asked, did you flirt with a girl? I didn't accuse you. As soon as he finished speaking, Lu Rian called. My father pointed his slippers at me and asked me to answer the phone. I had no choice but to answer the phone. Lu Rian's voice was a little tearful. Who was the woman Sujabwa last night? She was my blind date. I answered truthfully. Didn't you ask me to make our relationship public? My mom introduced her to me because I was single. Lu Rian was speechless. I know you like Yaozhe. Let's not get entangled. I was about to hang up the phone when Lu Rian murmured, but the probation period is not over yet. I haven't let you go yet. I turned off the phone. My parents looked at each other and replied. Their room the next morning there was a knock on the door. I didn't expect that on the first day of the new year, the first person to come to pay New Year's greetings was Lu Rian. I wanted to introduce her to my parents before, but she scolded me twice for this, and I never dared to mention it again. Today she actually stood directly at the door of my house. He was carrying 2 large boxes of gifts and handed them to my mother as soon as we met. Auntie, I am Sujabwa's girlfriend. My parents were stunned. They were about to ask Lu Rian to sit down and I pulled Lu Rian outside. What are you doing? Lu Rian's eyes were red and swollen. Jabwa, I came to wish you a happy new year. Aren't we boyfriend and girlfriend? I don't understand what drama he is playing. Lu Rian, I know you don't like me. Let's be friends again and be well. I took out my phone and wanted to call a taxi for Lu Rian. He hurriedly pressed my phone and said, don't block me. I finally ran away. Is it for Yaozhe again? Lu Rian was not in a hurry to deny it. This time it was for you. I laughed out loud. This is the funniest thing I have heard in 2025. Go away. I don't want to see you. I turned around and prepared to leave, but Lu Rian grabbed the corner of my clothes. Today is the first day of the new year. I can't get a taxi. Can I stay overnight? I took Lu Rian to a nearby hotel. The space was small and we sat cramped on a bed. You take a rest. I'm leaving. I stood up. Lu Rian lowered her head. She bit her lips and uttered a few words. Can you accompany me tonight? My heart skipped a beat. You should know that Lu Rian never let me touch her. For so long I haven't even held her hand, let alone spent the night together. Lu Rian slowly took off her coat and pantyhose, and her upper body leaned towards me. Didn't you always want me? I agreed tonight. I felt like being struck by lightning and my blood froze. Which normal man would not be moved by the girl I liked for 3 years, but do I really want to repeat the same mistake? While thinking, Lu Rian put her hand on my thigh. Okay, Jabwa? I swallowed and held Lu Rian's wrist, but that was in the past. I grabbed Lu Rian's wrist and pushed her away. Stop it. I strode to the door but Lu Rian shouted behind me. Jabwa, I don't care. I won't ask who you're with. We're fine, okay? I was stunned. It was Lu Rian who said this to me. This was ridiculous. I continued to move forward. Jabwa, don't you want me anymore? If you dare to take another step, there will be no possibility for us. I looked at my stiff feet standing there, unable to move for a while. If I take this step, I will have nothing to do with the girl I've liked for 3 years. Jabwa, you better think it over. Lu Rian's voice was urgent. I thought about it. I closed the door and everything related to Lu Rian. The next time I saw Lu Rian was at Yaozhe's wedding. She was really wearing a wedding dress. When Yaozhe and Fong Ting were toasting, Lu Rian rushed onto the stage and snatched the phone from the host. Lu Rian tapped the microphone, and after confirming that there was a sound, he raised the microphone and said, Hello everyone, my name is Lu Rian. Today I want to confess to the boy I have liked for a long time. There was an uproar in the audience, and Lu Rian became the focus of the audience. Someone started to shout, Who are you going to confess to? Lu Rian swallowed his saliva, and he raised the microphone and looked at me. Jabwa, I like you, be with me. I widened my eyes and stayed where I was. When did the person Lu Rian wanted to confess to become me? He went on to say, Jabwa, I was too stupid and then I realized how good you are. Are you willing to give me another chance? The people in the audience shouted in unison. Be together, be together, be together. Yaozhe put me on the stage and Lu Rian was in front of me looking at me sincerely. Jabwa, are you willing? Am I willing? In the past I would have loved it, but now when I face Lu Rian my heart is no longer moved. I'm sorry, I don't want to. I apologized to the audience and walked out of the auditorium. You lied to me, Jabwa, you are still angry, right? Lu Rian chased after me with a wedding dress. You love me so much, how could you not be willing? I suddenly wanted to ask Lu Rian, who was your wedding dress for? Of course it was for you. He is still lying to me. The blue heart flower on your chest is Yaozhe's favorite flower. And I am allergic to pollen. Lu Rian hurriedly took off the corsage and hid it behind her. You wanted to confess to him today, right? Lu Rian bit her lip and shook her head. Even if I used to like Yaozhe, so what? I like you now, Jabwa. I don't believe you can really let me go. Facing Lu Rian's persistence, I pointed to the innocent Jasmine who was waiting to receive the gift dress and said, I'm sorry, I have a girlfriend. I put my arm around Jasmine's shoulders and left. Thank you. I said to Jasmine, you're welcome. The wedding dress is 60,000 yuan. You go home. Lu Rian's best friend contacted me. She told me that on the night she knew I went home with another girl, Lu Rian cried all night. He found that he had fallen in love with me a long time ago. Yaozhe was just his obsession. Now he is determined to win me back. In the square where we first met, he showed me the video recorded by Lu Rian. Su Jiabwa, you have 15 minutes. After you get to Chibu, Lu Ruyan was crying as she spoke. My friends also wanted to bring Lu Ruyan and me together. After all, they all knew that I loved Lu Ruyan to the core. They drove me to the square. Lu Ruyan was wearing a wedding dress, standing on the steps of the musical fountain. She said, Su Jiabwa, I know you are here. There are still 3 minutes left before the end of the probation period. As long as you show up, I am willing to be with you unconditionally. In the strong wind, Lu Ruyan was wearing a skin-revealing wedding dress, looking weak and innocent. My friend pushed me and said, Go, you like him so much, don't let yourself regret it. Yes, I like him so much, but what was he doing at that time? Lu Ruyan raised her cell phone and started the countdown. Go quickly, my friend said anxiously for me. At this moment my cell phone rang. It was the alarm clock. The 3-month probation period is finally over. I breathed a sigh of relief. I've had enough fun. Let's go have fun. My friends looked at each other then smiled. We went to the bar. After 3 bottles of wine, a singing girl came on the stage. She was wearing a clean long skirt and her hair was curled on her face. After she finished singing, several burly men in the audience started to make a noise. When she got off the stage, a drunk man went up to ask for his WeChat. He didn't want to, but the man wouldn't give in. I went forward to protect her behind me. Only when I got closer could I see that she was Jasmine. Jasmine could drink a lot. When she heard that I was single again after the probation period, she immediately opened a case. It was so cool. I'm treating today. It turns out that in addition to running a dress shop, Jasmine is also the proprietress of this bar. I was drunk and getting closer and closer to Jasmine. She suddenly said that your lips should be easy to kiss in this state. I was stunned. Jasmine smiled and came forward and touched my lips. Jasmine's behavior stunned me, but she smiled. How are you looking at me? Is this your first kiss? I turned my head away. From birth to now, I have only liked one girl, Lu Ruyan. I have never forced her to do anything she doesn't like. This is indeed my first kiss. Jasmine touched my arm and asked if I wanted to do something more exciting. Jasmine took me to her dress shop. She asked me to sit on the sofa and went to the fitting room. After a while, Jasmine came out in a tight miniskirt. She said it was a dress she designed herself and she never had the chance to wear it. Jasmine walked up to me and helped me zip up my clothes. She squatted facing me and hugged my knees with both hands. A few movements made my heart flutter. I helped her zip up her clothes under the influence of alcohol, but when Jasmine stood up, she fell into my arms. Su Jiabwa, let's try it. He began to unbutton my shirt. In an instant, I sobered up. I picked up my coat, stumbled into a taxi, and asked the driver to take me home. After saying this, I fainted and fell asleep. When I woke up, Lu Ruyan was standing beside me. In front of me, she told me I was unconscious in the car. The driver took my phone and called the emergency contact. Lu Ruyan held my hand. Jiabwa, I knew you still had me in your heart. I was about to speak. Lu Ruyan peeled a piece of apple and put it in my mouth. She wanted me to see her change and said Lu Ruyan turned around and took off his clothes. Jiabwa, you can do what I didn't let you do before. He had already cried. Let's start over, okay? I haven't answered yet. I was interrupted by someone. The person who came was Jasmine. She took my hand back. Where did you go last night? I looked for you for a long time. 2 women surrounded me on the bed. This scene is the first time I have seen it in my life. Lu Ruyan sat on the edge of my bed. As if declaring sovereignty, she tucked the quilt for me. Jiabwa, since I'm here, you can ask him to go. You need someone close to take care of you now. Close, we have all kissed. Who do you say is closer? Jasmine's words broke Lu Ruyan's defense. She looked at me with wide eyes. Su Jiabwa, how come he got involved with another woman so quickly? Did he forget that when we were together, he was the one who ran out to be alone with Yao Zhe for a night? Now he blames me. I feel so confused by these 2 women. I drove both women out. Not long after, the other woman contacted me. After not seeing each other for a few days, Fong Ting looked much more haggard. She sat in a cafe and ordered herself a latte. Fong Ting told me quietly that after Lu Ruyan confessed to me, Yao Zhe could no longer suppress his feelings for Lu Ruyan. He often left Fong Ting aside and gave Lu Ruyan gifts. Seeing the gifts reminded him of the person. Yesterday, Yao Zhe had a night drink, and the first person he thought of was not Fong Ting, but Lu Ruyan. He wanted to ask Lu Ruyan to pick him up at the hotel, but he couldn't contact Lu Ruyan. I felt a little guilty when I said this. Last night, Lu Ruyan abandoned Yao Zhe and ran to my side. This is not what I dreamed of, but now it seems ridiculous. Is this what they call knowing how to cherish something only after you lose it? In a trance, Fong Ting held my hand and said, Su Jiabwa, let's give it a try, just as revenge on them. I withdrew my arm in an instant as if I had touched a hot potato. I looked at Fong Ting in front of me, whose eyes had long lost their light, and was glad that I chose to leave. Don't you hate Lu Ruyan? I shook my head. If I have time to hate, I might as well love someone else. I applied for a vacation from the company and was away for 3 months, the same length of time as the probation period Lu Ruyan gave me. Only when I got out did I realize that I could do so many things in 3 months. I didn't have to revolve around one person. When I climbed to the highest peak of the snow-capped mountain, I found that everyone can stand on the top of his own mountain. I also did bungee jumping. When I jumped down, I felt that the previous love-hate entanglements were nothing more than human experiences. By the way, I experienced diving. Although there was no oxygen in the sea, I was free and happy. Finally, I went to my grandfather's grave and gave him a bouquet of flowers. My grandfather taught me since I was a child that I should love someone wholeheartedly, just like he did to my grandmother. No matter how my parents, no matter how hard and soft I used, Grandpa was unwilling to leave his little house, where he and Grandma kept their memories. But in order to please Lu Ruyan, I left my grandpa who was the best to me. I don't know if he would blame me. A gust of wind blew and the petals in front of the tomb fell into my hands, as if Grandpa had been waiting for my reply. Just like when he was a child, He would give me a small flower every time he went out and came home. He said it was a reward for my strength. Grandpa, I'm sorry I'm late. I hugged the tombstone and cried. I filled it with a handful of new soil and left the cemetery before dark. As soon as I got off the plane, I saw Jasmine riding a motorcycle. He opened his arms to me. Sujiabwa, welcome back. I hugged him in return and got on his motorcycle. He told me that during the time I was away, Lu Ruyan went to find him many times. There was also one time when Lu Ruyan fell drunk at the door of his store. He just wanted to know where I went. Did you say it? Of course not. He is going to find you. What should I do? Jasmine smiled proudly. See, love is selfish. Why should I accept the existence of another person? I took out an empty bottle from the suitcase. Jasmine took it and frowned. What is this? This is the air in every place I go. I want to breathe it with you. That's right, standing on the top of the snow-capped mountain, I thought of Jasmine. I guess she will like it here as much as I do. Jasmine raised the corners of her mouth proudly and said, You know what I mean, right? Now that you know, are you willing to be with me? I held her face and kissed her. Let me say the confession. I reached out and wiped off Jasmine's lipstick. Jasmine, I like you and I want to be with you. Are you willing to be my girlfriend? Jasmine hooked her neck and whispered in my ear. I do. Jasmine and I made rapid progress. There was no so-called probation period. He took me to meet his friends and family, and also made an official announcement on WeChat Moments. We did not hide our relationship from anyone. In love, we are only honest with each other. After hearing the news of our marriage, Yao Zhe wanted to treat us to a meal. At dinner, he called their small group, still entangled with Fong Ting and Lu Ruyan. I refused. Marriage should be sincere, and insincere people should step aside. Not long after, Fong Ting was pregnant, and Yao Zhe was very happy. He accompanied Fong Ting for pregnancy checkups and stayed with her until the birth. It was not until he saw the child's blood type that he realized he was cheated. The two families fought over this, and this forbearing marriage ended in a mess. Lu Ruyan came uninvited on the day of my and Jasmine's engagement. She took a man in a suit and introduced him to me as my boyfriend. Since we both have partners, let's be good friends in the future. Okay? If we are good friends, I took Jasmine's hand and took out 2 red books from my pocket. No need. I never lack friends, I only lack lovers. From now on, Jasmine is my only lover. With a rumble, Lu Ruyan's self-righteous feelings collapsed. Jasmine and I stepped onto higher steps step by step, away from the right and wrong of the past. Every day in the future will be a better day. The full text is over.